Please like and subscribe for more. Let's be real for a minute. Most books about getting rich are written by people who've never actually done it. They're full of fluffy advice like think positive and the universe will provide. This book is different. How to Get Rich was written by Felix Dennis, a guy who started with nothing, no degree, no money, no connections, and built a billion-dollar publishing empire. He founded Maxim magazine. He made a fortune, and then he wrote this book to tell you exactly how he did it. No sugarcoating, no motivational BS, just the truth. For the next hour, we're going to go through his main lessons, what worked, what didn't, and what it actually costs to get rich. So, grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get started. Felix starts with a simple question. Do you really want to be rich? Not, would it be nice? Not, I wouldn't mind. Do you have a burning, obsessive need to get wealthy? Because most people don't. They say they want money, but they're not willing to do what it takes. And there is a price. Think about the people you know. How many are truly obsessively focused on building wealth? 1%? 2%? Felix says, if you're not willing to work harder than anyone else, if you're not ready to risk failure in public, if you'd rather have a comfortable life with weekends off, then stop now. Getting rich isn't for you. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with a normal life, but be honest with yourself. The first lesson, getting rich requires obsession. It's not a hobby, it's a full-time fight. Here's one of Felix's most powerful ideas. He says a regular paycheck is like crack cocaine. Why? Because it's addictive. It shows up every month without fail, it makes you feel safe, and slowly, quietly, it kills your desire to take risks. A job is fine for learning. It's where you build skills and meet people. The danger is getting comfortable. The danger is the routine, the office friendships, the predictable money. All of that keeps you stuck. Felix puts it bluntly, if you stay too long working for others, you will never be rich. Wealth comes from taking risks, not stupid risks, but calculated, researched bets over years. And you can't take those risks when you're hooked on a monthly paycheck. The paycheck is a warm blanket, but it's also a leash. This might surprise you. Felix says great ideas are totally overrated. When he launched a magazine called The Week, everyone told him it would fail. Who's going to pay for news they've already seen, they said. He launched it anyway. It became a massive success. The point? Execution matters more than ideas. A decent idea done really well will beat a brilliant idea done badly every single time. Felix didn't invent anything new. He just saw a market about to explode, personal computers, and got there first. Then he worked harder than anyone else. So stop waiting for the perfect world-changing idea. Find something people actually want and do it better, faster, and with more energy than anyone else. If you remember only one thing from this summary, remember this. Felix repeats it over and over. Ownership isn't the important thing, it's the only thing. Employees get paid, owners get wealthy. It's that simple. If you build a business, you must own as much of it as possible for as long as possible. Every time you give away a piece, you lose a piece of control. And once you lose control, you're just a highly paid employee again. This doesn't mean you can't have partners or investors, but know what you're giving up, because once it's gone, it's gone. Now we get to the part most books leave out, the cost. Felix is brutally honest about what his wealth cost him. He worked 16-hour days for decades. He abused drugs and alcohol. He surrounded himself with the wrong people. He nearly died. He describes himself as a coked-up, overweight, cigarette-smoking idiot with too much money. His warning? Money does not make you happy. You probably won't believe him. When he told non-rich friends this, they always said, yeah, but it would make me happy. But the truth is, wealth just amplifies who you already are. If you're miserable and empty, being rich just makes you miserable and empty with a nicer car. He also shares a chilling line. Somewhere in the heart of every self-made rich person is a sliver of ice, a coldness that lets them make tough decisions, fire people, walk away from relationships. If you don't want that ice inside you, he says, quit now. Felix has no patience for excuses. The young say, "I don't have enough experience or money." The old say, "I can't risk my family's security." His response? If you believe these excuses, you'll never be rich. He's had people work for him his whole life who were smarter than him, but they were afraid to lose what they had, so they never took the leap. The hardest step is the first one. There are always a million reasons not to start. The only way to get rich is to ignore those reasons and just begin. This brings us to the biggest obstacle, fear of failure. Fear rules us. It whispers, what if I look stupid? What if I lose everything? What if people laugh? Felix's advice, be willing to fail in public. If you can stand up, take the hit, and keep going, you've already beaten 99% of people. Most of the worst-case scenarios in your head never happen, and if they do, you survive. You get back up, the world keeps turning. Failure isn't fun, but it's the tuition you pay for the education of success. Every mistake teaches you something valuable. So, after all that, what's the practical advice? Here are Felix's simple rules. 1. Show up. Be on time. Be reliable. Most people fail at this basic stuff, so just being dependable gives you an edge. 2. Build a great team. Find people smarter than you who believe in the mission. Treat them well. 3. Think sideways. Look for opportunities others miss. Felix saw computer magazines coming before anyone else. What's the gap today? 4. Outwork everyone. This isn't optional. Felix worked 16-hour days for years. You have to outwork the competition. 5. Never retreat. Once you decide something, commit. Don't waste energy explaining yourself to critics. Just keep moving forward. Felix had his own definition of rich. He focused on liquid assets, cash you can actually spend, not total net worth tied up in a house or business. Here's his scale. Comfortably poor is £50,000 to £199,000. Comfortably off is £200,000 to £499,000. Comfortably wealthy is £500,000 to £999,000. Lesser rich is £1 million to £5 million. Comfortably rich is £6 million to £15 million. Rich is £16 million to £35 million. Seriously rich is £36 million to £49 million. Truly rich is £50 million to £100 million. Notice, most people who look rich, big houses, fancy cars, aren't actually rich by his definition. They're just in debt. The only wealth that matters is wealth you can access. So, let's bring it all together. Felix Dennis says getting rich is possible. Anyone of average intelligence can do it, but it requires a burning obsession, not just a wish, a willingness to give up a safe paycheck, understanding that execution beats ideas, fighting to own your business, accepting that there's a price to pay, long hours, stress, maybe loneliness, killing your excuses and fears, following simple rules, show up, work hard, build a team, never retreat. Money won't make you happy, but it will buy you something incredibly valuable, control over your time, the freedom to wake up and decide how to spend your day. For Felix, that was worth it. He ends with this: the world is full of money with your name on it waiting to be claimed, but you have to go claim it. No one's handing it to you. So the question isn't, can I get rich? The question is, am I willing to pay the price? Felix paid it. He built his empire, nearly destroyed himself, and found peace at the end. If you choose to take the leap, take his lessons with you. Work hard, own your destiny, never retreat, and try to enjoy the ride. Thank you for listening.